if you give me an opportunity to download programs in the first 7 years, that will determine the child's rest of its life. Why? Because 95% of a person's life is coming from those programs. So the issue now is facing is, what should we do with these programs? And the first issue is, what are the programs? Why? Because they were being downloaded in the last trimester of pregnancy and all the way through the first 7 years of life. So basically, you weren't there when you were in the womb. And if I asked you, what program did you get when you were 0, 1, or 2 years of age, you go, I have no idea, because consciousness wasn't even engaged at that point. So the first thing you need to know is, what controls your life? 95% from the programs. But what are the programs? And here comes a simple insight. 95% of your life is coming from the program, so your life is a printout of the programs downloaded in your subconscious mind. And so significance is easy. Look at your life. The things you love and desire and wish for that come into your life, they come in because the subconscious has programs to acknowledge that. But here's the more important part. Where you struggle in your life, where you want to have a certain outcome, but you work hard for it, you put a lot of effort into it, you're sweating over it to make something happen. Why are you struggling so hard to create those wishes and desires? And the answer is very simple. The programs that you were downloaded with do not support those ends. So as a result, your behavior is sabotaging you. And then, this is the link and the catch for all of it is, when you are playing subconscious programs, why are you playing them? Because conscious mind is inside thinking. And as a result, conscious mind is not observing the behavior that's coming out from the program. Since most of those programs are self-sabotaging and disempowering, you yourself don't even see that you're engaged in the process, because subconscious is playing that and conscious mind's not observing it. And why this then becomes important is, it's necessary for you to understand these programs, because we can change those programs. And when we change the programs in the subconscious, we rewrite the character of our lives. Well, the conscious mind is a creative mind. It can learn in any number of ways. Reading a self-help book, watching this particular video, going to a lecture. You can easily download new knowledge into the conscious mind. The significance is the conscious mind is creative and it can be very smart. But the issue is, downloading new knowledge into the conscious mind does not change the program in the subconscious. It's a different mind and learns in a completely different way. The subconscious mind is the habit mind. And by definition, we don't want to change habits very easily, especially, for example, consider, when did you learn how to walk? Before you were 2. I don't care what age you are at, almost all of us never have to relearn how to walk. And I say, well, thank you, subconscious mind, because you downloaded the habit of walking and it tries to resist any change to that. But when you get a negative belief, it also tries to resist change. So the issue is this: how can I put programs into the subconscious mind, new ones to replace the ones that are sabotaging me? And the answer is this: there are only 3 ways that you can rewrite subconscious mind. The first way is through hypnosis. This is the process that you downloaded programs in the first 7 years. So every night when you go to bed, just when your conscious mind falls asleep, your subconscious mind is in operation. So if you put earphones on as you go to bed and hear a program, it's not going into the conscious mind, but it's going straight into the subconscious mind and can reprogram it. How do you get new programs after age 7? Repetition, practice. Anything you needed to learn, you had to repeat it and repeat it to create a habit. So if you want to change a habit that's not supporting you, you have to engage a habit that's person. You can say every day, no matter how unhappy you are, you say to yourself repetitively, I am happy, I am happy. Over the day, you keep saying that. Guess what? Repetition, habituation will change the program, and one day you'll wake up and guess what? Your subconscious mind's already got a I am happy program. And lastly, the most effective way to change subconscious programming is through energy psychology. These are mechanisms that enhance super learning, and therefore you can download new behaviors in matters of minutes. To understand super learning energy psychology and 5 different energy psychology modalities that you can review and identify one that feels the best to you.
Okay. So that was wonderful, because we could understand how this relationship works. And something which I really liked was in the whole video is repetition. This basically helps in programming of mind. Remember, the master, which has abundant information, which has control of your life, which has control of your life, you have to be in harmony with it. So one very important thing is your priorities should be clear. Your objectives should be clear. And second thing that you need to work is you have to, whatever you want to achieve, you have to keep repeating, because repetition will give habituation. Like in that video, we could very clearly observe, even if a person generally find the life is full of troubles and sufferings and pains and issues, you need not, generally what you see the behavior of the people are, they keep talking about it. They'll find people, they give them a call and say, my life is full of suffering, I have issues, do you know how much of pain? God has not been kind to me, always bad things are happening to me. And the person is mostly talking about negatives. The person is mostly talking about sufferings. So the person is somehow settled into it. You have to come out. The solution is you have to come out. You see, sympathy will not help. Efforts are going to help. And what is the way out? That is a very practical way. When you start programming, like walking, like bicycling, like driving, similarly, this is again a process. When you start repeating, I am happy. I'll tell you the way today. We'll start with the process of reprogramming of mind, and you just need to record your own sound. 12 to 30 times you have to just say, I am saying happy, because suppose I want my mind to get programmed for happiness, then I'll do it. Maybe you are looking for something else, maybe relationship, maybe progress, whatever. You have to guide your subconscious to help you. There is abundant potential, there is abundant power, there is abundant knowledge hidden. Why don't we use it? The hidden potentials, the great self hidden. So what we'll do is, for example, I'll say, I am happy. I am happy. And I'll repeat and I'll record it. And then I'll listen to it again and again and again and again, maybe 10 to 12 times in a day. Slowly I'll realize that I am settling my mind for happiness. Because when you are programmed for unhappiness, even for a fraction of unhappiness, you make a balloon out of it. You magnify it, you manipulate it sometimes. The problem is small, but you talk a lot about it. You could have handled it easily. You could have said, oh, it's just a small thing. No, I've handled it. There's so many things. All of us are having unforeseen circumstances, but not everybody's talking about what they have gone through. Some people are managing them, and they get back to that normalcy of being satisfied, of being peaceful, of being happy. So you have to come to that state. If you don't have it, earn it. You cannot buy it. Remember, earn it. Earn it means you have to put efforts, but it is achievable. I said 4 things, 100% achievable. Peace, we have to work. Happiness, we have to work, because they are rooted in us. Harmony, achievable. Harmony means relationships to a great extent. Not all relations, not every time, but to a great extent. And the 4th thing is health, especially mental health. Because if the mental health is good, there is a higher chances of physical health also comparatively being better. Let's be very reasonable. Generally, through our processes, mostly people work with their mind. They first try to reduce distractive thoughts. They first try to reduce distractive feelings and emotions, and they make their mind peaceful. The moment they're able to achieve that peace within, they get rooted into it. Generally, we call it as Kendra. We repeat, Kendra, Kendra, Kendra mein aao, Kendra mein aao. Means you just get back to the center of yourself. You get back to the center of yourself, where you perform your best, where you give your best. Come to that level. So it is not that difficult, but certainly repetition and practice is through this very real way of repetition and practice, it is fairly achievable. There are many, many people who have done it. So one of the solutions of reprogramming of the mind is repeat something that you want in life. Keep doing, and it slowly sets into your mind. Slowly the mind takes it as a priority and it becomes selective, and it helps you when you have a choice. I give you one, again, I'll explain it to you. Generally, when you get up every day, you have to take certain decisions. When you have to take certain decision means there are certain options. When you have options means you have to decide. Now, on what basis do you decide? Subconscious is what people generally refer to as intuition, inner call. So when you have programmed your mind for the right, then you are taking decisions in the right way. I would appreciate if all of you can open your videos, because it will feel like a class and I'll be more happy interacting with all of you. I would really appreciate, please open your videos so that we can proceed. If anybody has a health issue or is driving, it is absolutely okay, no problem. But please open your video so that there is a two-way communication. I'm waiting for everyone to open their video so that we can continue. Mahasa, Ayushi, Preet, Wats, please open your videos. Okay. So now let us move on. Now, what are the solutions? If you understand the way the mind works, it will help us. And if you understand the power of thought, generally I found people do not understand the power of thought. It is a very powerful energy, very powerful energy. Right now, the program is focusing on mind and the power of mind. Soon we'll be also organizing a session on positive thinking. There will be one more session on power of intellect and decision making. So maybe whenever we'll do that session, we'll be talking separately about how do we work and generate positive thoughts, and how do we work with the negative thoughts, because all the minds have mixture of both positive and negative thoughts. Everybody wants that progressive thoughts, but we have to program our mind to do it. We have to train our mind to reduce the negativity and increase those harmonious thoughts. So please remember, thought is a very powerful energy, a very powerful energy. I'll give you a small example. If you get a news that your car was parked on the road and it is no more, somebody has stolen it. There are a lot of people who are really connected and attached to their vehicles. And you'll realize that, oh God, where is my car? For a fraction of a second, it will make you feel as if all the energies got depleted, you know, completely. Or somebody's about somebody's death or demise, you come to know. So it is just word and a thought, but it will affect the whole energy system. On the contrary, you go and attend a marriage, that happiness, again, a word or a thought can make you feel very happy or dull. So that thought can be, if the thought is important for you, it can affect your energy system. It can drain it, or it can uplift it or make you full of energy. So thought is really very powerful. But so if we understand human mind, or we understand power of thoughts, we can certainly do something about it, right? And very, very important thing that also can help us is a belief that you can achieve. Whatever you want to achieve, you have to believe that it is achievable. You have to give a reasonable time. Okay. Even those people who are the presidents of or the prime ministers of different countries, maybe they had dreamt of it sometime, and they have been reasonable in giving themselves some time, maybe 10 years, 15 years. But if you are reasonable, everything is achievable. It starts with a belief. If you wish to be an acclaimed, one of the best writers, and you have initiated, just started writing, you have to believe that you have that caliber, you have that capability, and you can do wonders. And you're visualizing that your writing is amazing, people are loving you. If you believe it, it is achievable. But if you don't believe yourself, that means you don't find, oh no, come on, I don't think so it's possible. Then now if the plant does not have a root, it cannot stay in the ground. It may have a thick trunk, huge tree size, but it cannot stand if it does not have root. The root is belief in self. Whatever you want to achieve in life, you must close your eyes and first believe, yes, it is achievable. I am worthy. Because you cannot fool yourself. You cannot have two contradictory thoughts. One side, come on, it's not possible. I cannot be a great writer. I can just be a writer. So if you have this kind of a thinking, your subconscious will not be able to help you. Because listen, if you need to be a great writer, you have to be connected to yourself, the root. And the mind will help you. It will generate those great ideas, that creativity of creating characters, of that imaginations. The mind, the master. I lovingly call the subconscious mind as the master, will help you. So the first thing, rooted solution, is belief in self. So I would request all of you to write down one thing that you want to achieve. I will not discuss in the class. We will not discuss in the class. It is going to be something very personal. But you need to only write one thing that you want to work on, that you feel that you want to achieve. It could be health, it could be money, it could be good relationship, it could be maybe self-growth, it could be anything that you really want to work on. Please write down something that you wish to work on. Because this is something we'll be continuing talking about in the next couple of sessions.
Sir, quick question. Is it a short-term goal or a long-term goal?
Ma'am, it is up to you. I would appreciate if you start with a short-term goal, because once you achieve something, then it gives confidence to you. Wow, the master is within. I was not in wonderful harmony. Now I have learned to harmonize. Now I can move towards long-term goals also. So you should start with a short-term goal. And the short-term goal are sometimes, I can give you some simple examples like husband, wife, generally having a lot of fight and friction. You want harmony, but it is not coming. So you are visualizing a great relationship with the spouse. So it is achievable, 100% achievable. The moment you start believing it, because remember, in a relationship, it is about two people, and out of the two people, one is you. So 50% achievability, so is assured, yes. Because sometimes you also are not in harmony with self. You lose your temper and things go wrong. About the other person, obviously you cannot control the other person. But you can at least control yourself, handle yourself. So as far as her question is concerned, I would appreciate if you have a short-term goal, because it would be achievable fast and you will get motivated to move further. So short-term is recommended if possible, because long-term is going to take long time also. We have to be reasonable with time. Please remember. Okay. So believing is very important. Yeah, please ask. Yeah. Sunilji, please ask.
How will you define whether a goal is short-term or long-term?
No, short term is something that you know you can do it comparative reasonably in a small span of time, and long term is something that you know will take a long time. It is, you cannot achieve it in a short time. So it is, you know it, that it will take less time or more time. For example, somebody which thinks very secretively is planning or thinking that I'm going to be the prime minister of the country. But if the person says, if I'll tell my friends, they'll all laugh on me. So if you are reasonable, you know that you will take some time. You have to get into politics. You have to learn. You have to be, reasonable means it will take some time, maybe 10 years, 15 years, you have some time. But you have a belief that you will do it. So it is a long-term goal that you want to achieve something, but you have a belief. Short-term goal is something like I gave an example of relationship. Maybe it can you can work it out in a week or a 10 days or 15 days. So short or long term, as she asked, so it is the duration that you assume according to your the time span that it can be achieved.
No, but if you give yourself a long-term goal, then you're likely to procrastinate because you think it's a long-term goal. You will not be so focused on it. So don't you think every goal should be short-term? It may turn out to be long-term.
That's in fact a strategy. And it's a wiser strategy because it makes things easier. Because something which is, it is kilometers and you have to walk, then there are a lot of people who do not continue for long. They lose the hope. That is why what people should do is, ideally it's a great idea and generally people do it. As a part of management also, if there is a long-term program, they divide it into small pieces. And they start achieving with one step, like I have to reach 10 steps. So they make a plan of 10 steps and they say 10 steps is my goal. Once they reach 10 steps, they appreciate themselves. Great, I could do it. Now 15 steps. So this is actually more motivating. There are very few people who are actually determined with their dreams, aspirations and desires. And they have strong belief. Tirelessly they work to achieve it. But mostly we find more than 50% people, as Sunilji is saying, he's right with his experience, because mostly you will find people getting demotivated with long term. They think, no, it is not possible. So they lose the hope, they lose the belief. So if you can make your long-term goal into short-term and slowly move and keep motivating yourselves, it will be easy journey. Thank you so much. Saira ji and Sunil ji, thank you so much. Really helpful. Okay. Sunil ji, please mute yourself. Thanks. So really this is of help. And as we start believing ourselves, then as I said, focus or mindfulness is really helpful because you have less distractions. So what is meditation and why do we do meditations? We've already discussed in the last session. I am just repeating it. There are so many thoughts, emotions, desires in the mind. We do not let you sometimes focus on an area. When you start focusing on something natural in the body, which is real, like we have started with breath. Breath is real. It is something, there is no manipulation. There is nothing about it. So when you start focusing on breath, those thoughts which are lucid, not very important, and you don't entertain them, then to remove or not to attend unwanted thoughts. So what happens is mindfulness means the mind gathers all its attention at a place. So when you become focused, you do most of the things with a focus. You have mindfulness helps us to do anything qualitatively. Your efficiency can go up. Your effectiveness can go up. So mindfulness really helps, because I found a lot of people, they do a task. They're doing the task, but their mind is somewhere else. They're thinking, when they're in office, they're thinking about home. When they're in home, they're thinking about office. When they're in park, they're thinking about both home and office. When they are in washroom also, now they have to think of the park. I didn't jog well. I could have done better. The mind is, when you're doing jogging, the mindfulness is not in jogging. You are not focusing on your body. You're not focusing on the sweating. You're not focusing on the how metabolic rate is increasing, decreasing, whatever. You are thinking of plants or the payments or the relationships, breakdown or sorry, breakup or whatever, the mind is, it's weird. It's always like flickering and this thing. But the moment you start training your mind, you give him a command. I'm doing jogging right now. Better focus on jogging. I have to be aware of my posture. I have to be aware of how much I have done. So this is called awareness. So mindfulness is a great virtue. Great virtue. It can help you to improve your professional life. It can help you to improve your personal life. Generally, people who are deep thinkers and emotional people, they really get benefited because of it. Because if you listen, if you are too emotional, that's your natural behavior, but you get disturbed because of it. So you need to remove that extra part. You will continue emotional, but you need to remove that extra part with troubles. So mindfulness actually removes that extra because you focus on the task you do. If you are a deep thinker, that's a great idea. So only unwanted needs to be removed. If you don't remove any naturality, you have to be natural. What you are best in that form. So mindfulness and focus are great virtues which help your mind to improve different aspects and realms of your life. So since mind is a powerful tool, we learn to align it with ourselves. And I'll be sharing a couple of tools with you. So positive and happy thoughts are a great solution. Positive and happy thoughts. What is a happy thought? Happy thought is just a feeling, a blissful feeling of being cheerful. And some people are generally very cheerful and blissful. They're very happy. Or when they come into a surrounding, they make it very cheerful. But there are some people who want to be, but they find it difficult to be cheerful and happy. They're surrounded with negative thoughts, pessimistic thoughts. So if we try, we can program our mind for optimism, for positivity, our mind for cheerfulness. These virtues are 100% achievable. You just need to work. We have lots and lots of students in Atmantan doing different programs. There is one program, which is called Awakening Wisdom. This is a one-year program that we do free of cost, and that program is basically on awakening the wisdom within self. So there are so many people in that group who have subconsciously reprogrammed, and it is not, but you have to be dedicatedly practicing. You have to be regular, and you can do it. It is possible. Now let us understand, there are a lot of people who have burdens of the life already they have lived. The memories they already have of the childhood or of the young age, and the moment they sit for some time, they have tears in the eyes. So what about the negativity that we have already stored? That I think Rachna had already, she had asked last time, if I am right. So if time will permit, we'll try that exercise today. Let's see how much we'll be able to cover up. Otherwise, maybe next time. So we'll be learning one exercise every time. So, but you also have to do this also repetitively. So because it is a huge pack, you can't think of a magic like somebody comes and removes everything and like all of a sudden it's a new life. No, you have recorded data and it is your data. So if we peep into ourselves, we realize that we are a huge being. We are being consciousness means awareness. What kind of awareness? Awareness about informations. What informations? All that is happening. People, their acts, their expression, their words, through sensory perceptions, we've been just collecting. So the consciousness is a great subject. So what we need to do is, now what you need to do right now is, let us start with one new practice today. One practice is, whatever be your objective. For example, I want to be happy, although I am generally happy, but if the case is that I want to be happy most of the time, and my objective is that I want to bring cheerfulness and happiness to my life. Now you please frame an affirmation. Affirmation is a positive statement which is general in nature, but it is which is in the present continuous tense. What is present continuous tense? That I am always happy and cheerful. For example, anyone who's married here, maybe let's take an example of Misha ma'am. She writes, I am always happy and blissful when I'm with my husband. No, she is making her married life even better. So she is relating it to that. Or I have a successful and happy married life. If she is working to improve it, okay, I'm giving you examples. So the statement should be in a present continuous tense because you're making your subconscious believe this is happening. Remember, I told you when we were doing the initial sessions, the subconscious mind, even the visualizations, take it as it is just an information. So this subconscious mind is only collecting information, whether it is a visualization or a reality happening in an external world. Whether it is a reality happening in an external world or something that you visualize, both the informations go into the same bag. Information, you'll realize your reactions change. Your reactions will change. So you please frame an affirmation. Please take a minute and write down a statement in a present continuous tense. For example, I am saying, I am always happy and blissful. Now, whatever be your objective, whether it's a relationship, it is professional life, whatever, it could be health. I am always healthy. So whatever, you just have to write a positive affirmative statement of you, something that you wish to achieve. I won't be discussing, I won't be asking. And something that I talked about, Misha, was also imaginary. I didn't discuss with her and said, she already has a very blissful married life. So, but just trying to give an example. So this should be in a present continuous tense because this imagination. Now what we do, if you have written that statement, please Zoom itself or by or physically, it's either ways, so that we can proceed to the next step. Okay, Rachana has done it. Okay, Shreyas. Thank you, Ed. Okay, Sunil ji. Saira ji, I won't be able to see your hand. If you have written the statement, okay. Okay, thank you so much. Janvi, Misha, Pratibha, Jyoti, please, if you have written that affirmative statement, please show this. Done. Done. Soumya, Priya, have you written that? That positive affirmative statement that you wish to achieve? Okay, great. Great. Ayushi, have you written? Okay, Vats. Preet, Preksha, Preeti, please tell me if you have written. Because remember, we are going to work on the same objective for a long time now. Maybe, I don't know, till you achieve it, we will keep working on that. And we won't get distracted now. There would be no second thing we'll work on. And don't try to confuse your subconscious mind that today you are thinking of health. Tomorrow say, no, 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 happiness is better. And then tomorrow evening, you have a wonderful idea. No, I should first prioritize my married life. Then your mind is not going to help you. It says you are sick. You are every day, you have new and bright ideas coming up. I won't be able to help you out. So if you really wish to help yourself, stick to one objective at one time. First, learn to achieve it. Then you keep moving. Okay. But one at a time is safe.
Sir, is this the same statement we will be saying to ourselves and listening?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We're going to repeat this statement again and again. And till we achieve it, we are programming actually our mind. Okay. Nandini and Priyanka, I'll just give you a small brief. Right now, we are learning how to program one of a very simple ways of doing it. And this is not just me. For last, I think 40, 50 years, people from the industry have tried it across the world and they have achieved great results. Maybe in coming sessions, I'll be able to teach you what makes this technique more effective. How can you make this technique more effective? Because now that movie of The Secret was very famous, that book was famous. Everybody, I think most of you might have read it. So this is not a new technology, but I have worked and researched on in what cases does it give result, in what cases it does not. So that would be very important for us, okay? Because I've seen people achieving what they had believed, and some people said, no, sir, it did not work. So I try to work out in what cases it gave results.
Sir, I have a question.
But at least let us understand. So I hope, yeah.
Hello.
Ask.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, please ask, Sunil ji.
Just wanted to say that since framing of the question of the statement is very important, because it's going to come up repetitively in the following session. Some affirmative statements like I want to be happy, or I want peace, or I want to improve my intellect, or I am intellectually fine. Aren't these very general statements? Shouldn't they be broken down? How? I mean, you can say I want to be peaceful, but there are many things which are attached to being peaceful. It's not just being peaceful. I'm not sure if I was able to convey my...
Sunil ji, there are two ways of working with subconscious mind. And one of them is called affirmation. And second is also a technology that is used in hypnotherapy, in which we design a statement for a task. That if in this situation this will happen, then I will do it. These are two ways. Right now, I'm just teaching you one of the ways. Maybe if required, I'll teach you another way. Second thing is, I'll correct you a little. We never say I want to be. We would be saying I am happy and blissful. I am happy. I am happy and blissful. I am always in a peaceful state of mind. I am, if I'm talking about peace, I will say I am always in a peaceful state of mind, because I'm talking generic conditions. There may be so many unforeseen situations where your peace is disturbed. Mostly it is disturbed in 90% people. But when you keep repeating, I'm always in a peaceful state of mind, then you will realize slowly, all strange situations come, but you are always in a peaceful state because you get disturbed, but you revive and get back to normalcy. So you say, this is one way of working with subconscious, which is generic in nature and called affirmation. That's another way where we specifically tune a person for situations. It's very sensitive. I'll give you an example. And she tells her children to do homework. But kids are kids. So mother tells them, you have to do homework within 1 hour. And she expects 60 minutes. But when she comes and sees the book after 60 minutes, they have not yet started. Now she loses temper, and then this side and that side, and all that she can do, scream and all that. Now she comes to a person like me or anyone else, maybe to any one of you, and she says, I don't like this. They don't obey my commands. It's all for their benefit. So what we can program her is that, then we program for a situation that if I will give command to my children and I will be very patient with them. So is that what do we do is, that is another way when situationally we program the mind. So these are two ways. One way is affirmation, which is generic. In that, generally, the statement is in a present continuous time. I am always peaceful. So that is all. So these things, these two strategies can be applied in different cases. If it is a very specific case, Preeti ji, please mute yourself. I'll surely be, you can ask a question after 2 minutes. So that's one way, and that's the second way. But firstly, we will learn the first way. Once you get comfortable with the first way, we can surely talk about the second way also. So in this statement, generally we say, I am always peaceful. Yeah, I am always peaceful in all situations. I am always happy and cheerful. And it has to be very clear, precise, right? Second way is situational that we can do, but no, we'll not talk about it right now. Now, what is the way that we do it? We generally record it like in our mobile, in recorder. You can do it from 12 to 15 times, and you have to be very slow. I am always happy and blissful. Yeah, I'm always happy and cheerful. I am always happy and cheerful. It should be soft sound, very clearly audible to you. I am always happy and cheerful. I am always happy and cheerful. Then what you need to do is, you can put 10 to 12 alarms in a day whenever it is possible. You find it is possible, maybe after some gap. You can just need to switch on the recorder, put it, close your eyes and parallelly speak with it and visualize. Remember, sound and light are amazing stimuluses for mind. What is sound? I am always happy and cheerful. What is light? The visual you are seeing. Now, Soumya is seeing herself very happy. Oh, she's dancing and enjoying, and happiness is one aspect and cheerful is the senior, you know, even better. She's finding herself, oh God, so happy, so cheerful. Come on, Soumya, this is a limit. So she's visualizing. And again, I am always happy and cheerful. It's like half a minute you're giving to yourself, just half a minute. Like I told you, bicycling, you had tried couple of times. And once you have learned it, you can't fall. Like walking in that video also. Once you have learned walking, is it difficult now? But if you ask a child, 1.5-year-old, ask the child, is it difficult to walk? Oh, the child is going to hold the hand and say, it is, you can't imagine. It is very difficult because the child is not able to walk. It stands and then fall, stands and then fall. Then he thinks, why to walk? Crawling is easy. It is just like that. Your life is troubled. You say, no, no, it's like crawling is easy for the child. But once you learn to walk, it's easy. Similarly, once you learn to program your mind for positivity, for happiness, for cheerfulness, believe me, it will be as easy as walking. Certainly situations will come, weird and strange situations, which is common in everybody's life, but you will revive within 5 to 10 seconds, sometimes 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes half an hour. But maybe if you were able to revive in one day, now it will revive in 5 minutes, and then you'll remember, oh God, I'm always happy and cheerful. Or you will just switch on your recorder and start. Once you have heard it 12 to 13 times, then you'll open your mind and there's a smile. Otherwise, something that you can do, something which one of my students did, and I really loved it. Such a simple thing. One of the mirrors. So generally there was a curtain. So whenever something went wrong, he used to just open the curtain, look at the mirror. Obviously, when he's looking into the mirror, and there it is written, you look amazing when you smile. There will be a smile on your face, and you really, it's such a simple thought, you know. And even when I saw that concept, even I smiled. I said, wow. It adds a smile to your face. You look amazing when you smile. And anyone who comes in front of mirror, it says you look amazing when you smile. So such things are great ideas, because we have to ultimately learn to revive. We have to learn to be in our best state where we can perform, we can give our best. Because when you are stressed, you don't perform good. And stress is one of the reasons. You know, it is a reason for 80% physical problems. 80% physical problems are because of the stress. You're going to kill the stress. You said, come on, I'm strong. I can handle my life. Whatever be the situations, I can handle the life. I have learned to walk. I've learned to bicycle. I've learned how to drive the car, bike, everything. I can love to drive the mind as well. I know how to do it. Programming is not difficult for me. I just need to be consistent. I have added a word. I just need to be consistent. What people lack, one of the secret is consistency. You ask them, did you listen to your own audio 12 times? So no, I was very busy. Couldn't get time for lunch as well. I didn't even drink water for the whole day. Oh God, you have 100 reasons. Consistency. For the whole day, you said, I could just listen to my audio once. See, take it as golden words which you are about your own self. So what you have to do is, you have to record very, very slowly. I'm always happy and cheerful. Very, very slow, enjoyable. And then you have to put alarm 10 to 12 times in a day, whenever if it is convenient, right? Maybe you can do 2, 3 in the morning, then 1 or 2 in the daytime because you might be busy in your office or the work, and maybe 2, 3 or 4 in the evening. But the moment you get up, the moment you get up is a very important time because the mind transcends. And when you go to sleep, the last, that is very important. These 2 times you have to do it mandatorily. So you listen to your own words and visualize that it is happening. Like I gave an example of Soumya. She's visualizing that she's very happy and very cheerful and enjoying. She's doing that activity that makes her feel happy. And just keep enjoying it till that it'll, I think, small statement for 12 times, less than a minute. So I'm asking 12 minutes in a day, right? So it is not much. You can give 12 minutes, but what is important is consistency. First word was believe. Do you believe it is possible? For example, if I ask someone, do you believe you can be healthy almost throughout the year? If you say yes, it is achievable. I'm saying almost because I want to be reasonable. Okay. Is it possible to be happy and cheerful most of the time? Yes. Although I will say I'm always, but we know that I can revive fast. Because I've learned to be in harmony. I've learned to use my hidden, dormant potentials. Okay. So what we do is we repeat it, we record it, and then we listen to it again and again. Okay. Preeti ji, you wanted to ask something? Please ask. Feel free to ask.
No, I just like to add on. I'm not wanting to ask anything.
Please add if you wish to, please.
I feel cheerful and happy, and I want to make my surrounding and the people also happy and cheerful.
Okay. So you have to just remove the word I want to. You say, I make the surrounding and people happy.
Yeah.
I make.
Yeah.
So it has to be almost in the state as if it is happening. So it is no more achievable. You have achieved it. So
Yeah.
you make your subconscious believe, ki, come on, I've done it. It's all achieved, but it is in you. Slowly and gradually you realize that you slowly and gradually move towards your objective. You slowly and gradually move towards your objective. I tell you, I'll give you one very good example. It has happened with a lot of people. A person who wanted to be an actor, obviously deserving, good, everything was good. Now this person day and night is only dreaming of something. That means focused, mindfulness. And if you are programming your mind for a certain thing, then your mind will help. Now this person could manage to get into a party where there were big shots. Now there are so many people around, you'd hardly know anyone, but you certainly tend to meet a person who was very loosely dressed up in one of the corner. Just by looking at the person, that person couldn't make out that, but he had that feel. Now remember, the master is helping in choices. The master is helping in taking decisions. He had a strong gut feeling that I should go and meet this person who's sitting on one of the corners. Just by looking at the attire, he couldn't judge. But choice, he went and met the person. Just after discussions of 10-15 minutes, he realized that he met the right channel. Channel means somebody who will help you to move ahead. We are all helping each other. We are all helping each other by some means to progress in life, right? So he realized this person is a channel because this person could further give him links and help. And it took a little time, but he slowly progressed and received. So there are many such stories. So when the master, we are in sync, we are giving the right objective to the mind, and the mind guides us as taking the right choices. So this has happened with lots of people, that they could connect to the right link or connect to the right, because they opt for the right choice. Subconscious is like a master who will guide you in taking the right choices, because you have given the right priority and the objective to it very clearly. But it has to be clear. And please don't change it tomorrow morning that now I have changed it. Yesterday I was thinking happiness is important. Today I think money is important. Okay. So there are certain tools that we generally use. But before we proceed with the tools, I hope everybody has written that statement. Is that protocol clear to you? Will you be able to record that in your own voice? Okay, will you be able to do that? Please tell me if it is okay. I will only proceed. Okay, yes. I am receiving yes from a couple of people in chat box. Yes, okay. You can show this or you can write. Okay. So it's a very simple task. Please do it. I'll be happy, because see, this journey, if it is experiential, it will be of help. If you just listen to a session, you hear from this and it will move off from this one. But if you listen and say, no, I'm going to work, it is going to help you, because we have already theoretical lot of information. We only need little bit experiential add-on or a finishing. Experiential add-on or a finishing. So this week is going to be blissful, because you know, start with reprogramming. Okay. I hope
Quick
everyone
question,
is okay. You have written the statement. You have to record it. Just and close your eyes and visualize it is happening. Don't add words want, desire, think. No. I am always happy and blissful, and you visualize you are happy, dancing, enjoying, and you are or cheerful, whatever words you've used, the words will be of your choice. And believe me, with time, after one day, the second day, you'll start connecting to it. One day you will feel strange, because somebody has given you, say the comfort will increase. Fourth day, you'll start loving your voice. Fifth day, you'll start loving your visualization. And seventh day, when we'll meet, you'll start loving yourself, being that you've started being a little happy and cheerful. And I would love you for that, because you've started loving yourself. Yeah, please ask your question, please.
So we talked about your personality, or your subconscious mind is basically takes all the programming till age of 7 years old. Now, being bilingual, I learned a different language later on. So when I'm trying to program a subconscious mind, which language is better? My mother tongue, or the one I use in my daily life, because I have no choice.
Any language, any language that connects to you. Any language. I would not say mother tongue, although I wanted to say mother tongue. But generally people have a mother tongue, but wherever they stay, become very comfortable with the language. So ma'am, what you can do is, to start with it, you can record in both the languages. Just listen to it. You will realize which one to hold on. Something which you are more comfortable with. Let's not start with the bias. Let's start with comfort. Something that you love hearing. See, we all love our voices. So you record in this language also, that also, and your mind will say this one. So you just hold on. There might be a couple of people who might be knowing 4 to 5 languages. So you can try with all of them. Generally, if anybody would have answered, they would have said mother tongue. But I don't think, because mother tongue is obviously a language of comfort. It's a language that makes you feel comfortable, but let's not be biased. Let's see, maybe with time we have changed and our priorities have changed. Maybe now we are comfortable in some other language. Okay, so, okay, let me ask, this is a question, I have a curiosity. Please write on the chat box the number of languages you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 10, whatever. Write on the chat box the number of, I'm waiting for your answers. Number of languages you know. We do in class, or it is about something you'll be doing in the next 6-7 days. Okay. So we'll continue now. Thank you so much. I'm happy. I'm happy because ultimately we're doing it with an objective. Our objective is that you should be able to move at least 10 steps ahead in your life, achieve something and add some level of bliss, some contentment, some peace, some happiness. And if you have a smile, I'll be happy. All that effort is worthy if there is a smile by end of the program. So that's the only objective with which we are doing it, right? Thank you. So, I will always be calling the subconscious mind as the master or probably as the guru, the inner guru. Now I'll share an image with all of you. Please, and if you wish, you can draw that. It is, we have got it designed. It's a very simple image, but I like it. I'll explain the concept. Now, I hope this image is visible. Now I'll explain it. I hope you can read. There's a word written consciousness. That's the base.
It's a little bit
consciousness
right now. Oh, it's waiting for it to load. Let's give it 20 seconds.
Is it clear now?
No, not yet. It should take about 10 seconds more. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you can share your screen again.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Actually, I'm sharing an image from the PDF. That is why. No. This is a presentation only. It's not a PDF. Is it visible?
No, sir.
It's okay. That's okay. Okay, I'll explain it to you. Imagine a staircase. You imagine a staircase. I hope you'll be able to do that. Imagine a staircase. Now, at the root level, we have consciousness. Consciousness is mere awareness or informations. Now, from that consciousness, now on the one step, you can make a staircase one step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step, sixth step. Makes 5, 6 steps. So the base level is consciousness. If you understand my concept, it will be very easy for you to understand the whole program, and decision making will also be very easy for you. So the base at the bottom right, consciousness. Now the step above consciousness is beliefs and habits. Consciousness is the base, right? Beliefs and habits. So from consciousness, what comes up are the rigid patterns and filters of your beliefs or your habits. Very strong foundation, root. Above the beliefs and habits, you can write thoughts and emotions. Now remember, what you need to understand is the world is a manifestation of your mind. Whatever you perceive is also a part of your belief system, value system, because it looks like that to you. The same situation may look positive to someone. The same situation may look negative to someone. And the same situation may look neutral to someone. Same situation, something happening on road. From a family, 5 people differently responding. Why do they respond differently? Because they have a different beliefs. They have different value systems. Habit is also a very strong word, strong habits. Now, from their habits, beliefs and value system, their thoughts come. Their thoughts come, their emotions come. I'm giving you the same example. Something is happening on road. Somebody looks at that and says, oh, he deserves it. You know, somebody was doing some crime on the road and people caught him, started thrashing him badly. Some people say, oh God, they shouldn't hit him like this. This is unkind. This is bad. They should call the cops. And there are some people say, no, he deserves it. Some people are responding it differently. See, a same scene, one person says deserve it, the other person says no. So how does that thought or emotion come differently? It depends upon your habit. It depends upon your beliefs. It depends. So this is one of the base. So from your consciousness comes your beliefs, your values, your habits. From your habits on all, different thoughts come, or that biased thoughts come, emotions come. Now remember, from the thoughts and emotions, the words will erupt. I'll give you one more example. Suppose a person does not have very healthy relations with the neighborhood. And they shout a lot and there is a lot of chaos created and they shout a lot and you don't like it. So first thing is, because your value system or your habit is you speak slow. And in your house, everybody speaks slow, right? This is the way you live your life. This is your habit. This is the habituation. Now, from the belief and the habit, or whatever belief you have or whatever habits you have, comes a thought. These are so loud, people. This is just a thought right now in the mind. So loud. They really don't know how to live. Come on. They're disturbing. This is only in the thought. From the thought, what comes is the words. One day you talk to your wife or you talk to your husband, say, what kind of a neighbors do you have? What kind of a locality we have chosen out? Just imagine, they're so loud, they shout. So from your habits comes your thoughts and emotions. From your thoughts and emotions comes your words. Obviously, you have that kind of a habit of speaking slow. So you are thinking that everybody should live like this, should not disturb others. The thought came that they are disturbing people. From that thought that they are disturbing people, then you have words. Then you talk in the family that I don't like it, they disturb. And from the words, generally the action comes. What is action? And during the words, you also say, now this time, if they disturb me when I'm studying, I will also shout on them. Or I can scream, or I'll call the cops. These are the words. Now from the words, slowly, see, the action will come. Again, the event comes, they shout. Lot of screaming or something is going on in the house. Now, since from the habits, the thought was there, from the thoughts, the words came, and ultimately from the word, there was an action. What kind of an action? You started shouting. So, see, the action does not happen immediately, although it may take fraction of second, but it has a root. From it has slowly grown and come. So from the basic level of consciousness, your habits, your beliefs are rooted. From your habits, your thoughts and emotions come, that I am like this. From your thoughts and emotions, your words come. From your words, your actions come. And whatever you keep doing, action, your character comes. So on the staircase, the bottom is consciousness. The first step is beliefs and habits. Then the next step is thoughts and emotions. Then after thoughts and emotions, the next step is words. Then afterwards, the next step is actions. After action is the character. Character means what you generally are in a habit of doing. We call it this concept as 6-level check. We call this concept as 6-level check. So, suppose a person is a habit of doing something. Say, oh God, this guy is freaky guy. I don't know what he does. Weird things. Then somebody says, why do you do such things? So if you go into detail, why does he do action? Then beyond that, there are certainly, he's been talking about it, words. Then when you go beyond the words, it is thoughts and emotions. When you go beyond the thought and emotions, you'll realize it is the habits, the belief system, the values. And when you go beyond that, it is the level of core blank consciousness, which is merely informations. Generally, people are fed up with what people do. Why do you fight? Why do you scream? Why you don't study? Why you can't sleep? So what we generally do is what troubles people. So you have to investigate and go. Now you can put a stop at any level. You can stop either at the general character level, but it's very outer. Or you can go to the action level and say, I will not do it. But remember, the root is somewhere else. It is not the root. Or you may say, I will not speak such things. Again, you can work at that level or at level of words, but it is also not the root. So generally we go to at least the fourth level, that is thought and emotions. If we can work at thought and emotions, your words will change, your actions will change. And generally, character is generally what you do. Naturally what you do will change. Or if you want to go beyond that, even better. 6th level check is you could put a check at any level. Whatever level you can put a check, it is good idea. But if you can go beyond thoughts and emotions, it is the beliefs or it is the habits. Now this is the level of subconscious. Thoughts and emotion is also the level of subconscious. It is somehow embedded deep within you. So if you can go to the level of thought and emotions, great. If you want to go beyond, you have to go at the level of beliefs and habits. And if you want to go and work at the level of consciousness, you have to just go with the help of meditation. No other way. No direct communication with consciousness as such. It's like the endless you, the powerful you, the knowledgeable you. So we can work at any level of consciousness, any level of consciousness. We call this as a 6th level check, but this is really helpful because when we investigate and understand why does a person do it repetitively? Is there a problem? See, a person becomes angry, fights and breaks things in the house. He does not want to do it, but it happens. You go back, you will realize that he has a habit or he has a belief. And now this is very important at subconscious to break at this level. Remember this subconscious programming, what I am saying, record it, repeat it, will break at that level, but it will take time. It will take time because now you are adding new data and information to subconscious that I'm always happy and cheerful. And one side you think, I'm happy and cheerful. Oh God, I scream and cry and make lives of others also miserable. And then you're thinking, no. I'm always happy and cheerful. You are adding new information to yourself. You are adding new information. As you start adding new data, and the subconscious accepts it, it will shake the foundation of your habit. It will shake. You will develop a new habit. What you will do, you will develop a new habit of being happy and cheerful, and that's going to be wonderful in the life because this habit, positive habit, will actually induce new positive thoughts and emotions. I'm repeating, when you start programming your subconscious mind, you start developing a new habit. What habit? I'm taking my same example. I'm always cheerful. I'm always happy and cheerful. Great. I'm always happy and cheerful. Wow. So you are adding the data again and again to where? Consciousness. The bag is getting filled. When it is huge filling, consistent effort with belief, you realize that you have developed a new habit of being happy. Wow. If you have developed that new habit of being happy and cheerful, you realize there are new thoughts. New thoughts. Even maybe Rachna is just sitting in a park and she's sitting with the, she's watching flowers and she's saying, I'm so happy and cheerful with flowers. Earlier she used to think there's no reason to be happy with flowers. Now she's saying, come on, it's such a beautiful flower. Just looking at the flower is a delight. Amazing. Thank you, God. And she's full of gratitude to God that you made such a beautiful world. Earlier, she realized, no, such thoughts never came to me. Now, just because she has developed a new habit, now after habit, what comes? Thoughts and emotions. New thoughts and emotions come. She wants to touch the flower and she says, wow, it's just a great experience. I don't know why I've never done it. I've seen this garden a couple of times, but this experience has never come to me. So thought and emotions, great. Thought and emotions, then words will come. Then she'll talk to her friends and say, you know, there's an amazing flower in the park nearby, beautiful color. I'll share that image with you. to the path, touch it. And this blissfulness will be seen by her. And everybody will say that Rachna is always happy and cheerful. Early only she was saying, I'm always happy and cheerful. Now everybody is saying Rachna is always happy and cheerful. Why? Because she believed. She believed it is possible. She was consistent. And when you develop good habits, you program your mind for new and positive things. That's the only way I believe. And fight with your own self. Don't struggle fighting. Find out ways. We have limited time. I don't know. For 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, we'll be alive. Let's use every minute with a positive attitude that yes, it is possible. So everything is achievable, but you have to be reasonable, give a reasonable time and be consistent. Okay. Okay. So 6 level check really helps us to a great extent. And please remember, everything happens at mental plane before the physical plane. Please write it down if you wish to. Everything happens at mental plane before physical plane. In your life, whether it is anger or hunger or anything that comes to the physical plane, first it comes to the mental plane. So if you are able to connect to the mental plane in a harmonious way, you are able to somehow command your body positively. And this is a known fact. Anything that happens to the body physically first happens to it mentally. So anything that comes to the physical plane has to cross the mental plane, because the mind is governing the body. Every stimulus is through the mind. We all know it. We have all studied in science. So, and all diseases are psychosomatic. All diseases are psychosomatic. If you program your mind for being healthy every time, believe me, your immunity will go high. You know, stress will be low, immunity will be high, and doctors will be surprised. Doctors will be surprised to see all the facts that they'll take. They generally take the blood pressure, oxygen level, all those vitals. They'll be surprised that at this level also this person is so healthy, because you have programmed your mind for being healthy. So, since all the diseases are psychosomatic, certainly we need to work with this. Wow. 4 things achievable. I'm again repeating: peacefulness, peace, happiness, harmony, and health. To reasonable extents, great extents. But that change is so huge change that sometimes people are surprised with the changes. And why I'm saying only 4 words, because I know they are achievable. I'm not talking about many other things. And harmony means harmony with self first. You need to be in a good harmony with self. Then you talk about harmony with others, relationships. First is great relationship with self. And there is one more point that I want you to write. Whatever you practice, you can bring perfection in it. Whatever you practice, you can bring perfection in it. You just have to practice, practice, practice. Now, my question is, what are you practicing? Negativity or positivity? If the whole day you are into gossips about someone else, your mind is flickering and is curious about knowing about the boss, about the neighbors, about the prime minister, about everyone, Tom, Dick and Harry, you want to be informed. You want information about murder mysteries, real murder mysteries. You just want to know everything. And then you hold them in. And then it comes to you as if it is a part of your life. So, what are you practicing in life the whole day? Look at the one day from morning to evening and just observe. What is practicing positivity? Practicing positivity means focusing on your own self, focusing on objectives, your own self, focusing on how to change it, focusing on, so this is positivity, meeting positive people. Positive people are people who are optimistic, who always believe there is a possibility of change, who always believe there is a possibility of change. They will never say no. They will never say it is not possible. They say there always a possibility of change and we're going to do it. This is positivity. This is optimism. So are you in circle or in touch with people who are positive, or they say, oh, come on, it's hopeless. There's no way out. It is not possible. Don't do it. There are more don'ts, do's, do, don't. All that kind of stuff is the whole day, or otherwise about others. I am not saying avoid others. I am saying focus on self. If your priority is self, little bit of information about family, friends is okay. But if your focus is you're the center and you want information about everyone, about the third cousin also, then certainly distraction is there. Huge distraction. Okay. So this is a direct comment on gossips. Direct hit. But it is about you. You are informed. You feel your heartbeat is faster. Wow. Are you aware? So first you need to be aware of your own self. Then it is great idea. If you have time, you can, if you wish to, you can be. But it should be not one of the priorities. So I'll repeat 3 statements which I said. Everything happens at mental plane before the physical plane. So if we are able to control the mind, if you are able to handle the mental plane well, physical plane will be controlled. Then I said all diseases are psychosomatic, 100%. So we'll be able to work with health because we'll reduce stress to major levels. And third, I said whatever you practice, you can bring perfection in it. So I advise you to practice mindfulness. I advise you to practice positivity. I advise you to practice new habits or develop new habits. Remember, I can give you an example I learned from him. He said generally people have a habit. They want to dig a well. Okay. How do you dig a well? You select a land and you start digging it, digging it, digging it. When you reach 10 feet, you realize, no, it's the wrong land. Leave it. What do? Choose another land. Start digging it, digging it, digging it, digging it. Wrong land. Leave it. Third choice. Digging it, digging it, digging it, digging it, digging it. What will do? 20 feet this time I worked hard. No water. Believe me, 10 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet. Total, if you say, if you have tried it at that time, you could have got water. People are not consistently digging at one place. Believe me, you know, if you are consistent, I learned this lesson, spiritual person, and I thanked him for that amazing example he gave it to me about well, because generally people lose their consistency. If that person would have tried digging and believing 100% I'm going to get water, it is 100% that the person would have got water. But when you only leave one work, task incomplete, go to the other, keep hopping and you keep doing it, your mind will never help you because it does not have mindfulness. I hope you got an idea. And what we have learned today is how to program. You have to record that positive statement and then listen to it 12 times in a day. I'm repeating it thrice. Why? Because I want everyone to understand. You have to listen to that. And when you are listening to your own voice, that I am always happy and cheerful. Now statement will be yours. If you're focusing on health, profession, whatever, and you have to visualize, close your eyes and visualize it is happening. So add new data to subconscious so that you can develop a new habit. Once you develop a new habit, new thoughts and emotions will come. When you have new thoughts and emotions, new words will come. When new words will come, new actions will come, and a new character will be seen in you. So that would be a great advantage for all of us. We are changing ourselves at the root level, not at the formal level that I'll show people that I'm nice. That's, you know, and a false character. Or you do certain things false at the action level. It won't help much because ultimately the truth and the reality will come up. You can't hide the reality for a longer time, right? So we have to work at the core level of consciousness or at the core level of habit and belief so that the change is permanently rooted in us. Is that so? This is a normal protocol. I would this time I think there was a little confusion. I'll do a small announcement that every time we are using the same link. So please don't wait for the link. The same ID and the password we are using again and again repetitively. So you please you can enter 15 minutes before that class. And what do we do before in these 15 minutes? We call it noble silence. Noble silence is basically a state of mind where you are quiet. You are like a blank paper ready to receive some new informations, because as you know, the mind is full of thoughts. So you are, if you're busy with something, a current program going on in the mind, it will be difficult to receive. So be calm. Just quietly sit for some time. If there is a music, great, enjoy it. If there's no music, it's an absolute noble silence. Just be calm. When the session will start, we'll have an interaction, a joyful journey for 1.5 hours. And then before we'll end, we generally use this term called promise to self, which are positive affirmative statements. So we repeat it. So I'll be speaking and you can follow. Okay. You keep yourself mute, but you keep repeating it. After the promise to self, we'll be doing a meditation. And after meditation, then we'll have a small question answer session. Otherwise, if we are able to make a WhatsApp group, you feel free to ask whenever you feel like. You can leave your query and I'll try to help you whenever I'll be free. Okay. So what you need to do is, I hope you all remember, we keep one hand ahead and the one on the chest, and you have to repeat. Okay. I promise to myself to observe silence and do meditation every day. I promise to myself to check all thoughts and keep them pure and sublime. I promise to myself to avoid unnecessary worry and be cheerful always. I promise to myself to eradicate egoism, lust, jealousy, greed, and delusion. I promise to myself to have a definite aim in life and proceed cautiously. I promise to myself to reduce my wants and possessions. I promise to myself to maintain balance within self. I would neither be too happy nor too sad. I promise to myself to give up backbiting and fault finding. I will try to see good in others. I would also praise their virtues. I promise to myself to avoid thinking or talking unnecessarily about third person. I promise to myself to enjoy and live in present. I promise to myself to never hurt anybody in thought, word, or deed. I will be kind to all. I promise to myself to feel the divine presence everywhere. I love one and all. I promise to myself to be good to others. I promise to myself to forgive and forget the harm done by others. I will try to be good to those who hate or dislike me. I promise to myself to be full of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you so much. You may keep your hand down. Okay, now we are moving towards almost the last part of the session, and we'll be moving with the process of meditation. I'll repeat it. When you do it, you have to find out a place which is distraction free and disturbance free, noise free. You sit down comfortably either on a chair or on the ground, as I showed in the last to last session, in the Dhyan Mudra, like this, or like this, or like this. Either on the ground with a rug under you, or on a chair which is comfortable. It is absolutely okay. The body should be very comfortable, but the back should be straight. The spine should be straight, and you sit like this. The tongue, preferably if it goes up, there is less of saliva being created. And the first step is, if your posture is okay and you are in a very comfortable place, then the space and mind relationship is very good. Mind and space relationship. Now then you have to move inside. The first step is focus. So there'll be a music. You just have to listen to the music and just try to feel it and dip yourself into music. So that's kind of an environmental stimulus. Then slowly the second step will be to focus on the breath, and you just have to focus here in the nostril and observe the breath coming in and moving out. You just have to watch. Don't modulate. It's not pranayam. You just have to observe. So this is a step you have already done in the last 2-3 weeks, right? Now we are moving toward the third step. So I'll be regularly guiding you during the meditation also. Okay. So third step is when you will be continuously focusing here. Shreyas, please can you confirm, close your eyes and observe that. Can you see your breath moving in and out? Do it. Okay, that's wonderful. So first is music, second is breath. We'll do it for 5-7 minutes. And the third step is you will bring your focus here, and with the breath you'll observe, as if I'm saying, as I inhale and I feel some energy here. Then when I inhale, I feel energy expanded here. When I inhale, I feel expanded here. When I just do it. When you inhale, feel the energy here. Your focus will be here. As you inhale, you feel the energy expanding here. As you inhale, you feel the expanded, right? There would be some kind of a sensation, something weird happening, right? So this is the third step of meditation. I'll be teaching the fourth later on, once we are comfortable with the 3. If anybody would be having any problem, you can certainly take help during the week time. I'll be happy to do that, right? So Gaurav sir, please can you start music so that we can start a meditation. So please sit comfortably and make sure whether it is chair or ground, you should have a straight back. Please add a smile on your face before you enter into the meditation. That positivity and cheerfulness is important. Give a smile and then close your eyes. Yeah, it makes you look better. Focus on music. Gather your attention on music. Just feel it all around you and in you. Dip yourself, immerse yourself in music. Completely focus on music. Dip yourself into it. Now, focus in the inner part of your nose. Focus on your nostrils and just observe your breath moving in and moving out. Focus on your breath. Just observe it moving in and moving out. Completely focus on your nostrils. Just watch your breath moving in and moving out. Don't get distracted. Don't entertain thoughts. Just focus on your breath. Keep observing your breath. Don't entertain any thought. Don't get distracted. Get back to your breath. Keep observing your breath entering through your nostrils and moving out. Now take your attention to the center of the eyebrows. And as you inhale, feel energy enhancement in the center of the third eye. This is exactly the place where the pineal and the pituitary gland lies. As you inhale, with every breath you inhale, you feel energy enhancement on your third eye. Focus on the center of the eyebrows, both the eyebrows in the center. And as you inhale, feel an energy, sensation or enhancement. Focus on the center of brow. As you inhale, feel energy. Focus, focus, and focus. You are primarily focusing on inhalations. With every inhalation, you can find energy enhancement in the center of your eyebrows. It is adding energy to your pituitary and pineal gland, to your brain, to your mind. Focusing through breath on your eyebrows, center of the eyebrows. Focus, focus, focus. Focus on the center of the both eyebrows. And as you inhale, with every inhalation, feel the energy enhancement in the center of the throat. Now slowly rub your hands, keep them on your eyes, and then slowly open your eyes. What I expect from all of you is, see, there are many ways of meditating. Why did we focus on the music first? Because it is difficult to gather attention. It is more pleasing for mind to focus on sound. As you start focusing on sound and you feel comfortable focusing, then you have to focus on something which is natural. What is that? Your breath. As you start focusing on your breath, because it's naturally going, you start observing that your unwanted thoughts and emotions reduce. This will happen with practice. Now, as you inhale, what do you add? Oxygen. What is oxygen? Energy. And it is enriching the mind as well. Now we are making a direct connection. As you inhale, you find, when you sit after this, you can touch it once. This is the center. And then when you start, you will feel it, that sensation. So 3 steps. I will send you a guided meditation on the WhatsApp group that we'll create soon. And you start practicing. We'll obviously increase the duration. Here we do it for short time because the session we have to complete at the sharp timing. So generally I find less time, but we'll send a meditation to you, which you will be a little more duration, and you can practice it. You can follow the guidelines and you'll be comfortably able to do it. Okay, but you need to practice. And mindfulness will help you. Meditation will help you. Okay. We can take 1 or 2 questions maximum. So you can feel free to ask if you have any queries. Anyone? Yeah, please.
So I have a question. So when you say, like, I had heard an analogy is thoughts are like they're going on a conveyor belt. So you kind of just let them pass. So when I'm trying to focus on the music, or I'm shifting my focus from music to my breath, I find I have so many thoughts and memories that surface. I'm constantly telling myself, focus on the music. So is that the way to do it? Or I just have to be like, I understand I have to quiet my mind, and it's a long way for me to get there. But is that the right phrase I have to keep remembering in my head, or am I missing something?
No. That's the right way. You just need to be aware that I am giving a task to my mind. And what is that task? Listen to the music. Okay. Get distracted. No, listen to the music. Okay. It's like a child. Okay. And you like a mother commanding, listen to the music. Okay. And then let's focus on the breath. Focus on the breath. Focus on the breath. Focus. So you are telling the mind again and again, don't go here and there, focus here, go here and there, focus here. So you are kind of learning to command your mind. And believe me, if you can do it for 5 minutes and there are no thoughts, I would appreciate that. 5 minutes is a great start, then 7 to 10 minutes, then 12 minutes, 15 minutes. You have learned to connect and command your mind. Because what you say, it is listening. That's a great achievement, because what mind says, you do it, because mind fascinates you to think weird things, strange things, goes to the past, disturbs. So this is what you have to do. You just have to be aware of the music. Oh, I got lost. Get back to music. Oh, I have to focus on thoughts. Get back to sorry. I have to focus on the breath. So get back to the breath. I have to focus on the breath. Get back to the breath. So you just need to be aware, and you keep doing repetitively, and you'll realize that the thoughts are lost somewhere. For some time when you do meditation, there are no thoughts, there are no emotions, you just dipped into something. You have learned mindfulness. So somehow what you are saying is also what I'm repeating, but I am using, rather than telling, I'm using the word being aware. So it's slightly different, but almost the same thing. So you are on the right path. Wonderful. And Rachana, please ask. I wish to know your question.
You mentioned the 4 things that are achievable, and one of them was harmony with self. Is that harmony with the soul's purpose, or is it harmony with the goals, or harmony with what?
Rachna, this is a very basic program called Mind Training, and I am avoiding the word use soul, and it's a very spiritual concept. But since you've asked a question on a public platform, the self is very important to define. The self is primarily consciousness. But obviously the self is not just mind, it is beyond the mind. So harmony with self is attaining the ultimate level of self where nothing is beyond. So, but it is a long journey. But at least the mind is easily, like we were talking about long run and short run. Mind is short run achievable. And that journey is long. But certainly when we talk about self, technically it is consciousness. But in other words, you can go beyond to the levels when there are realms of information you keep capturing, controlling, connecting, and transforming, and then to the level where there is absolute nothingness. So I'm again not using the word, but somehow I'm relating to it. Why? Because it's debatable. But certainly you are right. So we have self means ultimately to the level of energy. So you can relate to soul. Certainly you can relate to soul, undoubtedly. But that's very deep. That's very deep. I won't talk much about it, but certainly when we'll have a WhatsApp group and you'll ask me such questions, then I'll get very spiritual, philosophical, or whatever way, and I'll answer in detail. I'd love to do it because on public platform, maybe there are some young kids also who will go, oh God, what have we started discussing? But certainly I'd love to give a detailed answer. Thank you so much. And today I could only take 2 questions. Thank you. God bless you all. I'm so happy to see you, and I wish to see you a smiling face again next week. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.